Welcome back to DeFi Live, your weekly pulse check on the crypto and DeFi markets, brought to you by the On-Chain Academy. I'm Rich, and every week right here, we break down what actually matters before you make a move. Here's what's on deck today. Ted's going to walk us through current market conditions, what's driving price action this week, and where the smart money seems to be positioning. Then we'll dig into the Fear and Greed Index, where sentiment sits right now, what that number is really telling us, and why it matters more than most people realize. And to close things out, Ted's going to give you his read on where he sees the market heading over the next 7 days. Not a guarantee, just an informed take based on the data in front of us. As always, this is education, not financial advice. What you do with it is up to you. All right, let's get into it. Ted, take it away.
All right. Welcome to DeFi Live.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Ted, how's it going?
Hey, Travis, how are you?
Good.
Good. Well, we got an exciting show today. We got a special guest that I'm going to bring up. He'll tell us what's going on in the market, and then the best part at the end of the show, Megan's coming on, and she's going to kick off our competition. So
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. So I am going to share my screen here, and I'm going to...
Hey everyone, Rich here with today's DeFi Live Market Update. There is a lot of positive movement happening across crypto, DeFi, and traditional finance today, so let's get right into it. First, Bitcoin is trading around the $64,000 level and is showing some strength today. One of the biggest positive stories is the return of institutional money. On the latest completed trading day, US spot Bitcoin ETFs recorded approximately $297 million in net inflows. BlackRock led the way, followed closely by Fidelity. Ethereum ETFs also turned positive, bringing in approximately $31 million in net inflows. Combined, that represents roughly $328 million flowing back into crypto ETFs in a single day. That is important because ETF flows give us a good indication of what institutional investors are doing. And right now, institutions are clearly still interested in digital assets. Now let's talk about market sentiment. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index is currently sitting around 41, which is still classified as fear. But here is the encouraging part. Yesterday, the index was around 31. 1 week ago, it was around 29. So sentiment is improving quickly. In other words, investors are still cautious, but the fear is starting to fade. Now let's move into DeFi. Total DeFi value locked is sitting around $75 billion, and it has been moving higher. DeFi lending is also showing strength, with lending TVL up roughly 5% over the past month. Protocols such as Aave and Morpho continue to attract substantial capital. We are also seeing major growth in real-world assets, or RWAs. RWA-related DeFi activity has been one of the strongest sectors recently, with billions of dollars moving into tokenized financial assets. This is important because DeFi is no longer just about crypto trading. We are starting to see traditional financial products, credit markets, treasury products, and other real-world assets move onto blockchain infrastructure. Stablecoins are another major story. The total stablecoin market is now above $300 billion, and stablecoin supply has increased by approximately $1 billion over the past week. That matters because growing stablecoin supply often means more capital is available to enter crypto and DeFi markets. We are also seeing traditional banks and major financial institutions move deeper into blockchain technology. Ripple announced a partnership with South Korea's Jeonbuk Bank to improve cross-border business payments using blockchain infrastructure. Visa, MasterCard, Coinbase, and more than 140 companies are also participating in a new global stablecoin initiative called OpenUSD. And Goldman Sachs recently announced a major acquisition involving Neos Investments, which manages billions of dollars in ETF products, including crypto-related investment products. All of this points to the same trend. Traditional finance and decentralized finance continue to move closer together. Now, what should investors be watching next? Tomorrow, August 19th, the Federal Reserve releases minutes from its latest meeting. Those minutes could give the markets more information about inflation, interest rates, and the possibility of future rate changes. Then on August 20th, the CFTC holds an Innovation Advisory Committee meeting, where digital assets and crypto regulation are expected to be discussed. Later this month, the Jackson Hole Economic Symposium begins. And this year's theme focuses heavily on financial innovation, payments, and monetary policy. That could be extremely relevant to stablecoins, blockchain payments, tokenization, and the future of digital money. We are also watching the Clarity Act. The legislation did not receive the expected Senate vote before the August recess, but lawmakers are expected to return to the issue in September. If market structure legislation moves forward, it could provide much needed clarity around the roles of the SEC and CFTC in regulating digital assets. So here's the big takeaway today. Crypto sentiment is improving, ETF money is flowing back into the market. Stablecoin supply is growing, DeFi lending is strengthening, real-world assets are expanding, and major banks and financial institutions continue to build on blockchain technology. There are still risks. Interest rates, bond yields, inflation, and geopolitical events can all create short-term volatility. But the long-term infrastructure behind crypto and DeFi continues to develop. So today's message is simple. Fear may still be in the market, but adoption is moving forward. And as always, this is education, not financial advice. Do your own research, understand the risks, and never invest more than you can afford to lose. I'm Rich, and that's your DeFi live market update for Tuesday, August 18th, 2026. Back to you, Ted and Travis.
All right.
All right.
He's right on the money.
Thanks, Rich.
Thanks, Rich. All right. It's funny. I'll get into that a little bit more in a little bit, but what's going on in your world, Travis? Tell us a little bit what's happening.
Well, I'm looking at we're talking about Ethereum, and I just want to touch on again what Ethereum actually is. Most people have no idea about crypto, and I just yesterday at the acreage here, one of our horse boarding clients was selling a horse trailer, and I was talking to this guy. He's a compressor mechanic, works in Northern Alberta, and he's like, I'm like, dude, do you guys follow crypto? And both these guys, no idea. One guy was older than me, one guy was about the same age, no clue about crypto, no clue what Ethereum is, or like they know Bitcoin. He goes, oh, my buddy plays with that stuff. I have no idea. I'm like, so you're not invested, you're not educating yourself, you're not doing anything with it? He's like, nothing. I just go to work. And that is the story that most people have. They just go to work. Nobody really knows what's going on. Nobody knows how to get into it. It scares the shit out of them. Pardon my language. Scares the crap out of them. And they are just afraid to get into it. And I get it, because there's lots of scams going on, and there's lots of just unknowns about what crypto is. So Ethereum, just to explain what it is, it's a smart contract platform which allows people to do transactions and automatically execute actions to fulfill agreements. And the agreement can be it's something that a bank does on the back end when they put their contracts into place in their computer. And it's like a giant computer around the world, essentially. So it's important to have that trust between contracts and from bank to bank and from stores to banks, like Walmart, for example, in the back, or Costco in the back end of their transaction with all their financial stuff. It's actually running on blockchain. So just to give people an idea of what it does. So it's no different than actually say you invest in RBC or you invest in SpaceX. Why do we give them money to do, and what do they do, right? So who was it? I think it was Robert Kiyosaki said, we all have one of these, right? A phone, but are you invested in Apple? If you would have bought Apple stocks when you first bought your Apple, where you got your first iPhone, where would you be? Like you would absolutely, and he ran the numbers and he talked about that, and most people could just about retire if they had spent that $1,000 they spent on their phone on Apple stock and just let it sit there, So not only are you invested in the company, but you're investing in yourself. And like it or not, blockchain or Bitcoin or Ethereum is being used in all the day-to-day back ends of the stores that we shop at. I don't know anybody who doesn't shop at Walmart or Costco or any other store, and those transactions are happening on the blockchain.
100%. And well put too, because I keep telling people you don't have to know how it works or what it does. It is a ledger. It's like having a book, and there's hundreds of thousands of people that write down everything that goes on every day. That's all it is. And I tell everybody, just get off zero. So even if you only put $20 in, you're not going to miss it. But the next time you look at that $20 in about 5-10 years, it's going to be a few grand. It'll be a few $1,000s. It's just get off zero and then do your education and learn a little bit. What's sad is people don't even know about their own finances. So a lot of people don't even know how to balance their bank statements and their credit cards and things like that. And most people couldn't tell you how a credit card works, let alone crypto or Ethereum or things like that. I think it's just the techie thing that scares people and keeps them away from this amazing industry where the money is yours. It can't be taken away. It's I just don't understand it.
Yeah, and most people don't understand. That's the thing, and it's I compare it to what do you spend your time doing, and it's a commitment to actually learn your finances, right? A lot of people are excuse me. A lot of people are committed to watching, say, Game of Thrones from season 1 to season 10, however many seasons there are. I don't know. I've never watched the whole. I can't remember the last time I watched a series of anything, or sat and watched a bunch of TV shows that are sitcoms that are playing. I just don't. I don't have cable. I watch TV once a week if I'm lucky. But it's paying attention to what's going on. And I think now more than ever, people really need to start paying attention, considering what's going on in the world today, and not just like the politics of things. Because we're not going to all go. I can't become prime minister tomorrow and change the direction of the country, but I can change direction of what I have in my world. I can change direction of my finances. We can help each other change the direction of our finances and help educate each other, because having a community of people that you can draw from, you're not going to listen to the same video that I'm going to listen to, or what Megan's going to listen to, or anybody else in the protocol is going to listen to. So this community is a place where you can actually have a certain level of trust, and know that each person has their best interests in mind.
Exactly. And you are prime minister of your own domain, right? You're the one taking care of your household, right?
Absolutely.
And yeah, I'd vote for you though. I'd vote for you.
Thanks, Ted.
All right. Well, with that said, um, you know, if people really wanted to learn too, just spend 10 minutes a week. And a good way to do that is through the DeFi protocol. And if anybody ever wanted to know more, we have coaches that stand by waiting for people to call and help them through some of the decision making and questions that they have. We're also here for you. If you ever have questions, you can always jump on a DeFi Live and ask away. But in this particular broadcast, Travis and I are going to have a little bit of a competition. And what we would like to do is to show people what can be done. Me as a DGen might go a little bit on the outer limits of this particular financial industry, but we will have some rules, and I'd like to bring Megan on now, and let's go over some of these rules before we get started.
Hey
Megan?
everyone,
Welcome,
how are
Megan.
ya? Okay, I'm really excited for this. We've been talking about this for a couple weeks, and I think it's going to be really cool. So I'm going to share the rules for this competition that we have. Pardon me if I'm not looking directly at the screen. I'm just reading my notes here. But essentially, we are doing a competition. Ted and Travis will be competing against each other to see who can generate the highest portfolio balance. They will each be starting at exactly 1,000 USDC. And this is going to go on for 6 months. So I think this could be really fun. All right, I'm going to go over the rules and like the challenge structure that we have here. I will say that I am the judge. So there will be no cheating. I will be taking care of everything. Okay. So our starting capital, as I mentioned, Ted and Travis are each starting with 1,000 USDC each, same start date, which is today. We have our screenshots, which I will share after this. They each have a dedicated wallet. So each contestant uses a brand new wallet only for the competition. So there will be no additional money once the competition begins, which it technically has. Neither contestant can deposit additional funds. with the next rule, DeFi only, funds must be deployed on-chain in DeFi. LPs, lending, staking, vaults, and similar strategies are allowed. No leverage positions, margin trading, or borrowing to increase the size of the portfolio. Next, our screenshots are mandatory at the beginning of the competition, which, as I mentioned, I have and I will share. And then at the same time every week. So we will be doing this every Tuesday on our DeFi Live. We will see Ted and Travis's screenshot showing their wallet value. And it will be really cool to see weekly how they're doing. And, maybe someone will be in the lead. Maybe someone will take that lead following. So I think it's going to be really cool. And something that I will speak to actually quickly before I go through the rest of these rules is actually, maybe do you guys want to speak to your traditional way that you are investing in DeFi and how it might be different? I think it would be cool for you guys to share that so the viewers have an understanding of, why it could be different for both of you.
Well, I guess I'll start.
Yeah,
so
go ahead, Ted.
What actually I have done is I used Aave. So I'm really not using my own money. I borrowed against everything that I've accumulated over the years, and I only borrowed $1,000, which wasn't really that much, to borrow through Aave. So that's my first thing that I've done, because I'm going to make money on the money that I had set there to borrow against. So I'll make 3.61% on lending, and then I only pay 2% on borrowing. So I'm ahead already.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's one of the things that a person can do is not use their own money. That is one of the benefits of crypto. And how hard was it, Ted, for you to go and borrow money? How many people did you have to talk to, and what process did you have to actually do to do that?
Well, it took me a whole 3 minutes, and I didn't talk to anybody. And nobody said, no, your credit rating sucks. Nobody said that.
Did you when you were borrowing this money, did you put on your best suit? Did you put on your best foot forward when you walked into the borrowing center?
Actually, no. I did have pants on when I borrowed, but no, they don't care. It's a machine. They love me just the way I am, and they saw that I had enough to put in for lending, supplying, and they said, "Take it away. This is your health. This is what your health is. You're all good. Take as much as you want and run." I said, "Okay."
Awesome. Any more thoughts before I continue with our rules here?
Yeah, I've used traditionally, how I would do is I'd go to VFAT. I would take some of my capital and put it into a pool in VFAT and get an annual percentage. And in VFAT, you can choose which fund you want to be in, whether it's 20.3 or 12.62. And so that is to be determined what we're going to do yet. And there's other apps you can use as well that give you fees for putting your money in, and it all depends on whether or not you want to pay for those fees. So there's apps that allow you to do that without having any fees associated with rebalancing. So
yeah,
awesome.
And you know what's nice is that everybody watching us, Travis, can actually see our addresses, and we will publicly display our address, and they can go onto a site and actually verify that we are in this competition, how much money we have in our wallets. What do they say? Don't trust, verify, or always trust and but verify. I don't trust, I verify.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Right.
All right. Ready for the rest
Go ahead,
of the
Megan.
rules? Okay, so we said screenshots are mandatory. As you just spoke to, blockchain is the final record. So the public wallet address is the ultimate verification source. Um, Xeron specifically supports adding addresses to a watch list and synchronizing balances, transactions, and portfolio performances. So that's a good place to watch the wallets. And then all rewards count. So trading fees, lending interest, staking rewards, incentive tokens, and other legitimate, protocol rewards count. And lastly, the way that we are going to score this is the winner will be the highest portfolio value. So essentially, the ending wallet value. So whoever's is the highest will be the winner, and we will have that answer in 6 months, which I think is a great period of time, long enough to give both of you the chance to kind of do your own how do I want to phrase this? Work it how you would personally work it, right? I think it gives you enough time to do that.
Okay, so and then there's the prize. I was gonna say, are we racing for pink slips or what are we doing?
Yeah, we never actually discussed that prize.
Right?
What the prize is.
I don't know. Dinner in Belize?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be there anyways.
I know.
Ted has to, if Ted wins, he has to pay for your flight. Travis, if Travis wins, you have to, wait, no, sorry. If Travis wins, Ted has to pay for your flight. If Ted wins, Travis has to pay for his own flight or the dinner.
Hey,
I
like these rules. You're a great judge.
I'm not sure about these rules. I don't think I'm going to win this.
have trust in yourself. Okay, awesome. So
Oh,
I will just take.
Darn, Ted won the contest.
Yeah.
So I lost.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to quickly share my screen so we can see their portfolio values. Okay, so this is, you guys can see this, just confirm.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, perfect. So this is Ted's starting portfolio. He actually is up $2.96.
Yep.
So good way to start, I guess. And then, all right, okay, so then here we have Travis. So his screenshot here, and he is up 99 cents from the start. So just with a few minutes here of making the deposit, we're up a little bit of money. So great place to start. All right, so yeah, that's our rules. I'm really looking forward to this. Yeah, what else do you guys have to say about this?
I'm excited to see how it goes. There's so many different things that happen in these protocols when it comes to how you make money. There's the asset appreciation is one thing in your portfolio. There's the fees that you can accumulate on the portfolio. Some of them, depending on what you put into, you get reward tokens that sometimes are put back into the thing, back into the position, or that end up in your wallet. There's so many different factors, and then there's like, for example, like Ted is borrowing the money from a platform that allows you to lend it out, allows you to lend them the money and lend for more than what you'd pay in the interest to take the money out. So, and that is actually a practice that a lot of people don't know about. I actually have had an investment like that for years that generates me 17% a year without crypto. It's just a traditional fiat investment that most people have no access to because all they deal with is their bank, and their bank would not do an investment like that for them. So this just gives a person an opportunity to see how you can actually take control of your own financial future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and not only that, you can also earn passive income through these pools. So yes, our whole idea is to generate and win the competition. But if I didn't want to, and I had bills every month, I could take that. And this is what we teach you in the DeFi protocol. It's called the flywheel. And I can take a portion of that and pay my bills, put it back into the pools, have a treasury for potential bull runs that are coming. And these are all things that you can learn through us and through the DeFi protocol, and reach out for more information.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and lastly, I will say that every DeFi Live, so every Tuesday, we will be bringing our screenshots back in and sharing, and you guys will talk for a minute or two about what has happened for you in the past week. So everyone will be up to date.
And you being the social media butterfly, I
Yes.
heard this is going to be live, or not live, but it will be recorded on YouTube as well.
Yes, I'm very excited so everyone can follow along and we will release these episodes weekly. Gonna do my best to take some of these chunks and screenshots and make it into TikTok as well too. So shorter form content as well for anyone that doesn't have the longer attention span. But yeah, it will be really cool for people to follow along.
Awesome.
That is so cool. I look forward to this. Thank you, Megan, for being our mediary and our
Judge.
referee. So
And our
Yeah.
marketing guru, judge, the whole 9 yards.
look at you
Yeah.
go.
And I think when I was doing the prizes, I said it backwards, didn't I? I was just thinking about that. Should be the opposite. Whoever's the winner,
No,
the
I think you
other
said it
person.
right.
Did I say it
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, you got it right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that wouldn't make sense if Travis won and he had to pay for his own flights. Okay. Yeah.
Watch the replay.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. I think that's it for DeFi Live today. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Travis, what do you got to say? Any N words before we get busy?
No, I think this is exciting. There's lots of things that are happening in the industry right now. And just to kind of give you an idea, like really depends on number one, it depends on who you listen to. I will say that never take what anybody says as financial advice, whether it's us or anybody else. There's a pile of guys that I listen to and that Ted listens to, and they all have their own idea of what they think is going to happen. There's 4-year cycles. There's all kinds of other financial cycles that are at play here. And whatever you're using, always be prepared to lose it because it is a risk no matter what, you know. But if you educate yourself, it's all about mitigating the risk that you have in the marketplace. It's no different than driving a car down the road. You put good tires on your car so you can mitigate the risk if you have heavy rainfall or snow that your car is going to stay on the road. So we want to keep your financial path on a good path. And so what we've learned is we've made a bunch of mistakes and we've learned that we want to put some time into educating ourselves about how to do this properly. And that's what the protocol is for. The DeFi protocol is to help people learn a different way of thinking about their finances. And, we're not perfect. It's not financial advice. We're just two guys, a group of people, a community wanting to move the needle on our financial future. So the research that I'm going to do is very different than what Ted does. We do a lot of stuff in the background with AI. We do a lot of stuff listening to different guys and researching what they say. And we've had our experience. Like I said earlier, you're going to talk to people every day that know nothing about crypto. And if you ask them, how does your credit card work? I put it in the machine and it takes money. How does it really work though? How does the percentage work on it? What kind of money are they, you pay a fee. What do they do with the fees that you give them for having that credit card every year? It's part of their operating costs. And then what do they do? They take more of your money on top of that. You're paying them to use a service, and then they charge you for every transaction. Well, in crypto, you get paid for those transactions. You get paid for those transactions in DeFi. So, anyways, that is something to consider. And if you're new to that, and that's all you know, and that's all you're learning today, is that you can get paid the fees, for example, that you pay on your credit card. Think about how much interest you pay every month. Most people don't even look at their statement; they just make their payment or make their minimum payment. I know people that have $300 and $400 in interest a month on a credit card, and they don't even bat an eye; they just pay it. So, this is a way, I think, to educate yourself. This is a way to learn how that system works. And that's what we're here to do.
Excellent. Well said. Well said, brother. All right. TNT are going to sign off on this DeFi. I want to thank Megan for being here and helping us through this. And we will see you on Thursday for our next DeFi. And until then, everybody, take care.
See you later. Have a good one.
And that's a wrap on this week's DeFi Live. Quick recap. We covered where the market stands right now, what the Fear and Greed Index is telling us about sentiment, and Ted's outlook for the week ahead. Remember, everything you heard today is for educational purposes, so always do your own research and make decisions that fit your own risk tolerance. If this kind of weekly breakdown is helpful, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss next week's episode. We'll be back same time, same place, with a fresh read on the markets. And if you want to go deeper than a weekly video, real structure, real curriculum, real community, head over to the On-Chain Academy, the DeFi Protocol at www.thedefiprotocol.com and check out what we've built. Until next week, this is Rich, signing off from DeFi Live. Stay sharp out there.